Come and explain your reason.
The potatoes. This I have used the seeds of this are used to make chickies. I don't know if you're aware of chickies. Okay, it's a sweet. So I guess that is the ingredient here. And paste it on paintings. And I'm from Chennai. Venkatesh telling me that I should come and visit. Sudha's her arrangement.
Continue not here. It's a simple rising.
Madam, కొంచెం madam.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Stop on my arrangement, please. It's a very difficult.
Wow. What is called? It's not familiar.
It's very typical of South India.
That's right. Right.
Madam.
What? I have to explain to him, please. This is my arrangement. This is the freestyle. I have used the book which is going to be launched. I have used these baby potatoes as my repertoire. So I have strung them with the wires. This is a freestyle.
This is my
అరే చూడండి నేను ఎప్పుడు ఇదే దీంతో చేయండి స్టార్ట్ చేయండి ఇమీడియట్గా
Yes.
అరే
And what is this?
This is boiled which I took from the castor oil. Castor oil is what I make castor oil. This is the same.
Look like that. Yes. That's right.
Has an edible element. Some like a carrot leaf or something like that. It's also
Wow.
Mrs. Maithili Ramaswamy. She used to live in Delhi all these years. She was Delhi Ohara chapter president earlier. And now she's moved to Bangalore. So she has come for one day like you for the event.
Bangalore. It's an honor that you are gracing today's evening's Rekha has been so kind and generous, so she has provided all the material. All I had to do is put together.
Wow.
What is the edible element?
Yeah, the edible element, each of the arrangements has an edible. This is a kind of a grain that we have used, and I've used it as a prawn.
It's a millet, no?
It's a jawar millet.
It's a millet. And these are some unusual berries. Roti. Yes. Take a picture with it.
Thank you.
This is
Madam.
Is it an edible fruit?
It's the inflorescence of the palm tree, one variety of palm tree. And there are certain varieties that are edible, some are not.
It becomes bigger or this side?
So that's it.
I see.
Turn on.
become bigger? Wow. Wow. But this is a baby part of the good.
Can I take a minute, please? Mr. Varma.
Very nice to meet you.
We just surprised to December.
Oh, very recently.
Very recently. And Taga is from Chennai.
Ah, nice to meet you. It's too bad.
So we just started our lockdown.
Yeah, of course.
So Taga we
Huge.
Yeah, this is hers.
Wow, mango.
So from my
Young mango.
this is raw mango.
Yes.
And these are the leaves of the mango branches and flowers of the areca palm. Areca palm flowers, they are in full bloom now. Mostly red exora. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I have this one in my house, this one. This one, no. This one, I forgot
These
to
are
say.
areca palm. Which they are quite tall. Yes, quite tall. It's a nice. They're actually in full bloom right now.
Did you get this
It's a vase, very old one. My father had collected it. So I don't know exactly where, but he had traveled.
Yeah. Vijaya-san.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, very much. Wow, wow. It's good, very interesting, very interesting. What's this? Oh, yes, paper.
Locally, they call it tunes of the
మేడం I will call you.
So here the edible item that is tomato, monstera leaves, and the temple.
This arrangements will say.
Oh, you call temple flower?
Yeah,
Primera.
yeah.
So for the book, I got drumsticks as a recipe, but the drumsticks were too tall of a plant, so we couldn't get them done. So we used brinjal. So they call eggplant, but we call brinjal, and we have several varieties. So this is a Bangalore variety. So in India we have a number of varieties, and so we use color purple to try to go through with all the flowers. And then this is actually a lavender, but we just thought we'd match it, put it together as a setting.
This one and this one?
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. This grows. It starts like a bulb, and then it grows long, and it grows comparatively this long. And then very, very common in Andhra cooking, especially brinjal or eggplant.
Hello, Namaste.
Namaste.
I request all the participants of the event
I
to
have
come
done water reflecting metal. This is to enhance the beauty of the container, and to make
please
it
come on.
contrast with carnations, chrysanthemums. This is the beauty. Maybe split the
Okay, John.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Madam. Right.
Mishrana, I want everyone to do this. So once you have done this, explaining the arrangement, I request the participants to come in.
Our drumsticks is
So three is complete.
the drumsticks were quiet.
3 years.
మేడం కొంచెం తిరగండి
Yeah, madam. But we use this one maybe for the temperature and stuff. Oh, this one temperature. Yes. This one. Yeah, yeah. Brother.
It's nice to have a balance in life.
Are you justice or other? You are justice or other?
Yes, it's always nice to have right balance and like keep justice. It stays with the life you are. First basic. Thank you.
Wow. Hi. Pretty visa.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a cheat that I use for my arrangement with jasmine to signify jasmine rice as one of the spices.
Okay. This is
Yeah, so this is the jasmine flowers to signify the jasmine rice. Thank you.
how big?
So it's just a big number.
I've used Anji Fix.
Yeah, big. Yeah.
So I just did
What's this?
that's called caucus. So just flower, but some of them use the leaves for that. But this is it. I just did that and so I thought it was Fix as well.
How did you make this one? This one?
It grew like that. The foxtail grows
this
like
is
that
natural.
in my natural. It's natural. This is with the fake we make the sweet. So I just brought it as a taster for you.
Thank you very much.
మేడం మీకు
This fix.
మేడం కొంచెం
So we make the sweet for you.
This one is passion fruit. This one is. Okay. Deepika san. Wow.
I've done Hana melon, sir. Using the gooseberries, just stems.
Wow.
It forms triangles, scaling triangles.
I see.
It's quite new arrangement. Yes, one person.
That's perfect. So, ఇంకా అరేంజ్మెంట్
చూసా అన్న అన్న బ్యాగ్ వచ్చాను బ్యాగ్ వచ్చాయన్న బ్యాగ్ వచ్చాయి
నా కొద్దిగా ప్లీజ్ అన్న
Yeah. It's our full influence. Wow. Interesting. Wow. It looks like person. Person holding a forest garden. Very interesting. Wow. Wow. Namaste, namaste.
This is landscape arrangement.
Ah.
So I have this is the edible material in this. These are called turkey berries. We make curry.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is cashew nut. This is cashew nut.
Oh, you
flat.
this.
Yeah. So this is the cashew. This is the purple. Yeah. So this is naturalistic landscape, realistic landscape.
Please. Yeah, please. What is that?
Bay. It's called bay fruit. Big trees, massive trees we have. So the leaves we use for not sure, worshipping, not sure. Leaves. We make juice with this.
I request all the good participants to come here on the stage.
I make chill juice. This keeps stomach very well. It's very good for summertime.
It's a summer.
So we have juice and we used for worshipping and for juice. Yes, yeah. I just springtime. I wanted to show how it is. So this is the little bigger thing. And then this.
Is this natural or you put?
No, natural.
But same brand.
Yes. Same brand.
Madam, sorry.
I wish you could taste the juice.
Yeah, this is mine.
Oh, very nice.
This is the inflorescence material from the farm, and this is the bit of
In Japanese, we call it inagami.
That's it. This material is just as taken from my house.
All the participants,
Dish
please gather near the stage.
my signature dish.
Watching this tiny ones. Then it grows like this. Then slowly get ripe. And then it falls.
Good evening.
This is one of This is called this is Indian plum. Plum in North India.
Very sabak.
And it's also called turkey berry.
These are quite actively
The most colorful thing pick it up at the right time when the size is
What's this?
That is hibiscus family. I don't know. This is Gongura. No, I don't know. But hibiscus is a botanical name. But that family always see.
After some time, or like
I don't know. Because I came from Bangalore. Material was I like the color. And it's only one branch. I made it into two branches. This is a very subtle color. Limpa paintings. More much immediate.
Madam, at two side. Madam, at two side.
Usually you put food in this turmeric leaf. Our recipe, we made a dessert with this leaf. In the packet is there. Turmeric leaf sweet is there. So that's why it's sweet dessert. So it's there in the book. Pakistan Suma does a lot of event decor also. She's very good. She does big events. She does floral decor of events. And she's come from Bangalore. So 3 of the ladies have come from Bangalore. This is a Bunjin house. Bunjin chow based on the Chinese literature. Yeah, of which we make chutney. And this is the temple tree which has flowers and has used for fragrance lot. And that's the Mysore money, which is a fragrant flower. It's a very nice fragrance. You can try it. Smell it, it's a beautiful fragrance. It's a jasmine. It's one from yes, one flower. Very special. So everything in this the edible material is it is a Japanese basket.
Yeah, now you can.
It's more I made a recipe also with this beans, so that is the reason why I made this. Thank you very much.
Huge. Anisha-san, banana. Wow.
Mishrana.
Deepika-san.
Yeah, this is my traditional.
Madam, koncham back.
Yeah, peanuts powder. So that's how it looks. And I managed to get some fresh peanuts, so I tried it out.
Because in the book her recipe was a peanut chutney. Over the years,
Madam, side. Madam, to the side.
and she used them when she travels to her. She taught as assistant in the college in Consul.
That was my internship, and
Yeah. Same position on the
yeah,
This side.
traditional grinding
Wait. No, that's let him complete. Let him complete. Now shift that side. Shift that side. Shift that side. Shift that side.
Please one.
मैडम आप थोड़ा पीछे हो जाइए.
Good, good.
Madam, back.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Madam, वो side.
Krishna-san.
Madam, वो side जाओ.
non-curry from the islands of Andaman.
Oh,
So I
yes.
wanted to
तुला हे झाड ना अटकत आहे पुरा.
the lobster claw, not lobster.
Oh. But this is turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric representing like morals again.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Wow. I see.
And with the hana ganari attachment.
Wow. I see. Hajime mashite.
मैडम मैडम 4 सेट चलिए.
This is a pineapple.
That is an ornamental pineapple. Ornamental pineapple. And this is begonia. And in India, they eat on a plate which is made out of leaves. This is the flower after that. Baukinia is called. So that is very rare. It's only found in Bangladesh.
Turn back. Turn back.
That's right.
ये भी चावल में गाली का
This is the flower.
हाँ सर.
I didn't know. I only know this.
request all the participants to come on to the stage, please, for a photograph.
दादा ट्राइपॉड लगा टाकू ये भी अमरेला लकड़ू का है అన్న అన్న కొంచెం ఇటు వస్తారా
ठीक है 1 सेकंड
डन उबरा कर सकते हैं
Mr. D.B. Venkatesh Varma garu, and the chief guest, Mrs. Deepika Reddy, a Kuchipudi Exponent. It's a pleasure to have you amongst all of us, and we are honored with your presence. We will begin the proceedings with lighting of the lamp. I request the guests of honor to please come near the lamp. I also request Mrs. Parvati, Mrs. Rekha Reddy to join them. I also request Ms. Padma, Indumati and Nirupa to accompany them, please. Thank you very much. I request the guests of honor and Mrs. Rekha Reddy to be seated on the stage, please. Thank you. Mrs. Radhika, Mrs. Annapurna, Mrs. Ananda, kindly please join us for the prayer.
Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Girijanandana Niranjana, Girijanandana Niranjana, Parvati Nandana Subhanana, Parvati Nandana Subhanana, Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Prasanna, Pahi Prabho Mam Pahi Prasanna, Gauri Nandana Gajanana, He Gauri Nandana Gajanana, Girijanandana Niranjana, He Girijanandana Niranjana, Gauri Nandana Gajanana.
Thank you very much for rendering a lovely invocation, seeking the blessings of the Lord for the event. I request all the members present to kindly rise for the national anthem. I request Mrs. Sita Reddy, Mrs. Nagnath, Mrs. Pratibha to join, please.
Vinayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidata, Punjab Sindh Gujarat Marathwada.
insights about the book. She has toiled very hard for the culmination of her vision to see the light on this significant day.
Thank you. Namaste. A very warm welcome to our special guests, dear participants and invitees. It's not often that I hold a paper and read out from that because I just like to say whatever comes to mind. But I think I was just so happy and so excited today. I didn't want to miss out on any of the points that I wanted to get across. So I have my paper here. It's with immense pleasure that we gather here today to present Mishrana, a blend of delightful Ikebana and delectable cuisine, and its bounteous offering of trees with their branches, fruit, flowers has no equal. Ikebana, with its fine aesthetic sensibility and proximity to nature, connects well to Buddhist Zen philosophy and has no parallel either. Nourishing foods and their importance have been mentioned in scriptures as ancient as the Vedas. Recipes of the world are available at a click of the hand. But the charm of holding a book of recipes is something different. I don't know if only the older generation agrees with this, even the younger ones, or I'm old-fashioned. I still love holding a book. It just feels something warm and something nice, with that. So there are a plethora of Indian recipes, indigenous, traditional, contemporary. There are different blends featured in the book. Our endeavor here is to showcase the subtle art of Ikebana alongside the Indian cuisine and create a deeper insight into different cultures. Through this, we also extend the hand of friendship between countries and help create understanding and peace. Most of us here know Grandmaster Hori Minant-Narayan, and we're all grateful to her for introducing Ikebana to this part of the country. And I personally, I am grateful to my mother Shyamala and my father Dr. Reddy, whose trip to Japan much before I was born, sometime in the 50s. That started my Ikebana journey and culminated in this book. So nobody even, I think we didn't even think of that. They just went to visit. My mother fell in love with Japan and with Ikebana, and she started doing it, and it went on. So, you never know how the connect comes about. And my mother's favorite quote was, she must have been a gardener in Japan in her last birth, and I was her assistant gardener. So we both like Ikebana so much. So welcome and thank you to our guests of honor, Masayuki Taga-san, Ambassador Venkatesh Varma, and Deepika Reddy, Kuchipudi Exponent, for gracing the occasion. I hope your curiosity was tickled by the name and the blend in the book. So there are 75 of us participating in the book, 75 of them who've done Ikebana, and they are beginners, advanced, everybody. And we've been working on it for a couple of years because of the situation. The last 2 years, it slowed down. I think we were all getting impatient. But how wonderful that it is finally ready at 75 years of independence. So I think each of us, the 75 of us, depict 1 year of that. So we're most happy is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, so it's part of that. And this year, the Japanese government is celebrating the 70th year of Indo-Japan diplomatic relations. So that's also a milestone event, which is also, a very good thing. So these happened by chance, but we're so happy that they happened. So it's been, a really nice thing. And talking about Indo-Japan relations, so we are really happy and, to share that Mr. Sanjay Kumar Varma, who's the ambassador of India in Japan, who's in Tokyo right now, had a chance to look at Mishrana, our book, and he sent a nice note, and I read it out. Quote, "People to people connect between India and Japan is a celebrated pillar of our special strategic and global partnership. In fact, all other verticals of the partnership only attempt to establishing a better understanding between our two people. Both the countries have rich civilized links. The launch of the book Mishrana is a testimony to the convergence of quintessential elements of our two cultures, flower and food. While flower culture of Ikebana emphasizes the importance of color and arrangements, the food culture of India creates colors, aroma, and taste in the most mouthwatering ways. Both are core to our cultures. While Ikebana arrangements by 75 artists and their blend with accompanying Ikebana arrangements and Indian recipes celebrates Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the launch of the book itself fits 70 years of establishment of our diplomatic relations with Japan. I take this opportunity to congratulate the authors and the artists who have made Mishrana a possibility. I am confident that they would take Indo-Japan partnership to greater heights. So we're very happy, and we thank the Ambassador Sanjay Varma from Japan for his note. And earlier, a big group of us had put together another book called Blooms and Looms, where we have Ikebana with Indian saris. So we showcase different saris from different parts of India, and a little note about the sari, and there was some matching element between the sari and the Ikebana arrangement. And that, again, we have a very nice note from Mrs. Gunjan Varma, the ambassador's wife, about how much she enjoyed this blend of culture. In fact, recently in the Indian embassy in Tokyo, they had an Indian evening where they had a fashion show with saris, different kinds of saris, with both Indians and the local Japanese wearing the saris and showcasing different fabric. So she was very happy and with the saris, and I must thank Meenu from Japan and Mrs. Gunjan Varma and her friend Anu, who coordinated this event also of the saris and coordinated the note from Mrs. Gunjan Varma. So, and also we recently had Ugadi, and Ugadi is our new year, of course, and we had a Plavanama Samvatsram, which was last year, and this year is the Shubhakruti. So we hope for more Shubham in the world. We haven't had very good years the last couple of years, so we hope for more Shubham, so this is a year of that. And today, of course, is our book launch day. It's the World Heritage Day. So it's indeed a good day for us and for people all over. So we hope this continues. And most importantly, given the situation in the world today, let's hope for a healthier and a more peaceful world to come, with less conflict between people, between nations, and less conflict within ourselves also. So thank you, dearest Mishrana family and all our guests. Without the Mishrana family, there's no book. So, you know, you can put one together, but it's so much fun and so much confusion with so many people together, but the confusion also to be enjoyed. It's so much, it's really so nice. So everybody contributed beautifully. Your arrangements, your recipes, your time, your effort, and your patience in waiting a couple of years for the book to come out. Thank you to all the Mishrana family. You've really been really so good and supportive. Not only the Mishrana family, but their families, to put up with all these photographers in the house and mess all over the house and flowers here and recipe tasting. And there are a lot of people to thank, which I think Nirupa is going to do in the end. But thank you everybody for this wonderful time we had. And it always reminds me, like somebody was speaking, I saw, I think it was a WhatsApp forward about one of the learned men speaking about the redwood trees in America. And I was wondering what the connect was. Because the redwood trees are so tall and strong, and they're so, they're well known all over the world because of how good they are. And I didn't know until he said they are so tall and so strong, you'd expect them to, sway or fall easily with the wind or be a little weak at the trunk or at the feet, and they might topple over someday in spite of being so large. But they don't, because they have such a strong root system. The roots connect, they go sideways and connect to the other redwood trees, and they kind of hold on. So they're all like supporting each other. So the minute I read that, I was thinking of the 75 of you. Really, it won't, it's like that with everybody, not only in the Mishrana family, the larger Ikebana family we have in Hyderabad or in India or over the world. Wherever you travel, one call and somebody says, I'm from an Ikebana chapter or Ikebana person from India, and they're ready to reach out. So I think we're all, what we should do in the world, be each other's pillars of support. So it's such a wonderful thing to be part of the Ikebana family. So I think we're all waiting for you to enjoy the unusual encounter of the flowers and flavors. If I talk about our books and Ikebana, I can go on and on, but time, I think we should I'll let the others speak, but thank you again so much and welcome to this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha. We are truly proud to be associated with Mishrana, and we're all awaiting to try out the recipes. Now I request Mrs. Maithili Ramswamy and Mrs. Nirmala Agarwal to present a memento to the Consul General of Japan. I request Mrs. Padma and Mrs. Shyamala Ganesh to present a memento to the former Ambassador of India. I request Mrs. Usha Bhagia and Mrs. Sharmila to present a memento to the chief guest, Mrs. Deepika Reddy. Thank you. Now I hand over the mic to Mrs. Nanda Rao to continue the proceedings.
Thank you, Anita. Namaste. The printed book looks beautiful, the glossy cover, the breathtaking pictures, but what goes into making of that book? The joys, the heartburn, the intense discussions, burning of the midnight oil, finances, deadlines, and many more. Let's hear it from Indumati Davlur, our co-editor, who is a second master of the Hara School of Ikebana and very talented too, who puts her arrangements under the name Indubana. So let's hear from Indu on the making of Mishrana.
Namaste and a fantabulous evening to all of you. Most of us have been hearing about COVID babies and all the stress through pregnancy to delivery. Well, the making of this book is one such story. While the book was conceived in the pre-COVID days, it was nurtured with extreme care during the peak viral infection and finally delivered, or rather is being launched post-COVID. I repeat, post-COVID. It's my sincere hope and prayer that this dreaded infection is now in the past and is only a history. I would like to emphasize on the fact that all the recipes in this book have been tried and tested a number of times. We strongly believe that the proof of the pudding is in eating it, and we were only too happy to adhere to it. Not only did we cook it, we relished it so much that though only for 2 minutes on our lips, it's well settled forever on our hips. Our family members or our ever faithful and loving guinea pigs, I hope they don't mind us calling that, enjoyed the various dishes and are hoping that we make more books with recipes. We had the food photo shoot at this very hotel, Marigold, under the able guidance of the internationally acclaimed chef Partha. Sous Chef Suman and his colleagues turned out delectable and visually appealing dishes using our recipes in these very kitchens. Ace photographer Arvind Chenji created magic with his camera and ideas, creating smoke in dishes using dry ice to represent piping hot food or ice-cold drink were a few of the fascinating ideas of Arvind. The effect of this is for all to see in Mishrana. We always look forward to his appreciative abba ba 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 after a shot, and then we were assured that he was really pleased with his picture. The photo shoots of Ikebana arrangements were in Rekha's, Padma's, Nirupa's, and my house for quite a few days. Yummy snacks and delicious food was served, which made some of us so drowsy, and I'm not mentioning any names here, that we literally dozed off between arrangements. While creating a good Ikebana arrangement is very interesting, the challenge is in getting the picture right and at the right angle. Move the camera an inch this way or that, and the lines and angles all go kaput. Arvind has mastered this with his experience of working with Ikebana artists to such an extent that he's now all set to take theoretical classes on Ikebana. Am I right, Arvind? Priya, Subramaniam, and Venkat from RBC Worldwide, our book designers, must be heaving a huge sigh of relief that the book is finally out. We've been trying their patience for the last few months with so many requests for changes in the book. In fact, even after the file went to the printers, Rekha and I thought we definitely should be adding certain info in the book. Both of us were pretty embarrassed to ask, and we were goading one another to bell the cat. We finally plucked courage and requested them for a few inclusions and editing. Priya immediately acted on it, as she felt that it added value to the book and made the changes without getting flustered one bit. Truly appreciate their professionalism and going out of their way to help us, not only with designing, but with so many other aspects of the book. In this book, we have a melange of two very important art forms. One is the exquisite Ikebana arrangements that are a feast to the eyes and therapeutic to the soul, and the other is making food with recipes that are sinfully delicious and nourishment for the body. Kudos to all the participants for their beautiful Ikebana arrangements and gastronomically delightful recipes. It is their enthusiasm and cooperation that has brought the book this far. Anyone who practices Ikebana today knows well that building relationships is the crux of practice, relationships with nature, between students, and between teachers and their pupils. The Mishrana family is one perfect example of this, and all this is only because of the highly motivated and hyperactive Rekha, who is the fulcrum of this group of book buddies. An enthusiastic shout out and a huge applause to Rekha for making all this happen, for all the fun moments and wonderful experiences. On a lighter note, the book experience has finally made the ambassador of Ikebana, Rekha Reddy, a super chef, and now she is all set to start cooking classes. Theory only, no practicals. Much as I would like to spill more beans, I'll end up having a broken leg or two as I step off this podium. Hence, I'd be better off to safely say, thank you for listening to me patiently, and please do enjoy the book just as we did putting it all together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Indu. Now we know how easy, difficult, and interesting it is behind the scenes. Well, ladies, and a sprinkling of gentlemen, the much-awaited wait is over. The entire family is here, waiting with bated breath to see the magnificent, the exquisite, and the elegant Mishrana. I request our guests of honor to please launch Mishrana. Thank you. Now it's time for celebration, some kampai. Let's celebrate 70 years of Indo-Japanese friendship. Mishrana is an amalgamation of Indian culinary delicacies with Japanese floral art.
We have favorite Japanese kampai, is cheers. But they do it with champagne and with expensive whiskey, but we do it with watermelon juice because we are doing Ikebana and recipes here. Come on, girls. Here, come. Varma, come. Quick, quick, quick. Come, come. Your juice is on the way. It took a little, but it's okay. Come. 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 Yeah, yeah, sure. Vidya, come, please. Cheers. Cheers. Kampai. Kampai.
Kampai. After the sweet celebration and toasting, I now request Krishnaveni Varada to please introduce our guest of honor, noted Kuchipudi dance exponent, Srimati Deepika Reddy garu.
Good evening to the dignitaries on the dais, honorable guests, and the press. It is indeed a privilege to introduce Deepika Reddy garu, who is a well-acclaimed and one of the leading exponents of the Kuchipudi art form in the present times. She's an accomplished performer, a creative choreographer, a cultural ambassador, and a dedicated guru. As a performer, she showcases the ancient art form across India and the world. As a choreographer, she brings subjects of mythological, cultural, and topical interests to delight a diverse audience. As a guru, she imparts holistic training to enable the youngsters to excel in performing. She founded Deepanjali, an institute striving for excellence in the field of Kuchipudi in the year 2000. She diligently works to sustain an environment conducive for disciples to do their best at the dance school form of Kuchipudi. She's a recipient of a plethora of prominent awards nationally and internationally, and the most prestigious award of Sangeet and Natak Academy Puraskar was conferred to her in the year 2017 from the President of India, Sri Ramnath Kovindji. She's thoroughly groomed by the legendary guru Padma Bhushan Dr. Venkatesh garu, and she mirrors his exclusive technique with ease and elan. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the torchbearer of Indian dance form for past 5 decades with hundreds of magnificent Kuchipudi performances across the globe, Mrs. Deepika Reddy garu.
The eminent dignitaries on the dais, Consul General of Japan in Chennai, Honorable Taga, Masayuki, Honorable former Ambassador to Russia and Spain and a highly respected Indian Foreign Service officer, Sri Venkatesh Varma ji, the Karta Karma Kriya of today's function, the versatile, amazing Rekha Reddy, my dear friend, and I'm really proud to have a friend like her
because I look up to her for her humility and simplicity, amongst other things, her versatility and all that. I can go on about her. I call her a multifaceted personality. The four masterminds behind this book, my dear friends, Indumati, Padma, Nirupa Reddy, along with Rekha. The 75 brilliant Ikebana artists who've also shown their culinary skills in this book. So many of them are my very dear friends, and some are older to me, some are my peers, some are younger to me, and it's so wonderful that all of them have come together, like how Rekha said, holding their hands for Mishrana. Then we have Arvind Chandji. I've known him for a very long time, and he and his brilliant captures. I always tell him, can you make me look younger? So it's a great pleasure to have all of you here, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I would have preferred sitting there with you all, really, because I'm more comfortable there. But Rekha last night at 11 o'clock put a gun on my head and said, I have to be here. But then I couldn't say no to her, since she looks younger to me, but she's older to me, and that's how I'm here. I'm so happy that this book has come out, Mishrana. The very name, gives us such positive vibrations coming from there. It's an incredible amalgamation of cultures and artists, so beautifully put together. And there's so much in our Indian culture that we can show to the world. And of course, there's so many similarities between our country and Japan. And I've had the good fortune of going to Japan and performing. And here, Mrs. Nagnath is here. So I went with her and performed in Japan, and it was a wonderful experience, I must say, and a lot of takeaways for me from that country. And one thing I would like to say is a lot of similarities between the Kuchipudi dance form I perform and some of the dance forms of Japan. So although, I was a little hesitant today, I'm happy that I'm able to share some of those things with the Consul General here. Kabuki dance style is very similar in certain ways to Kuchipudi. Both are theatrical art forms, and music, dance, and skill are important for both. But what is the similarity is, women were forbidden from doing Kabuki as well as Kuchipudi till very recent. This is because they felt that the system would be misused. So men would dress like women and perform both these styles. So this is something I came to know when I went there. Another thing is, as you all know, the Shinto faith is praying to to nature, to the elements, and even in our Kuchipudi dance form, integral part of our choreographies are about the Panchabhutas, the elements, about Prakriti, nature. So this also I learned after going there, the similarity between Japan and India. And here I must say today, one thing is that the motive of whether it is an Ikebana master or whether it is a Kuchipudi performer is to have a connect and to be able to give an enriching aesthetic experience for the people who see their work. So in our classical dance style, we have something like the rasas and the bhavas. Bhava is the emotion that we emote, And rasa is the effect that that has when we emote a particular emotion. So here why I'm bringing this up is this has a close connect with Mishrana, because laukika rasa is the physical taste. That is when we eat something, and of course all your recipes we are going to try out, and that's the experience, the laukika rasa. And alaukika rasa, today also you've shown us here, and also we will see it through the book with your arrangements. This is the aesthetic experience. So that is the very close similarity with my dance form and the laukika and alaukika rasa and Mishrana, because you're going to show that to us. That experience is going to come. And also the medley and or the melange of having so many aspects together, the touch, the color, the form, the shape, all that. It not only brings out divinity and all that in us, but also it gives us and shows us benefits and beauty of being minimalistic, and simplicity is so important. So, you know, with all these very, very beautiful flowers and leaves and all edible products, you've brought all that together to give us a message also. So our nature is so beautiful, let's appreciate it, let us do things, so, you know, it's beautiful. So that's why I feel Mishrana will have a huge takeaway for all of us, and most of the recipes I'm sure are healthy to keep all of us healthy and happy. And another thing I'm very happy is to have Venkatesh Garu here, because seeing him, I'm just reminded of my performance at the Bolshoi Theatre, and he was the ambassador there, and it's such an amazing place to perform, and also to have him there was an honor for all of us. And Varma garu, one more thing, even I was in Spain for a very long time, so I was just talking to your wife, and there's so much to learn when we travel, when we perform abroad, and you know, to connect our culture with the other cultures. So I think I've taken too much of your time, but then this just came to me. I didn't have any time to think about what I'm going to speak about. Rekha, just as I told you, ordered me, so I'm here. So thank you all, and Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. All of you have done a lot for this book, so wish you all the very best, and that all of you, although you have your own professions, you're multitasking and so much of versatility to show your creativity is coming out through this book. Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Deepika. You've given us a lot of food for thought. We've done blooms and looms. We've done cookery with the Ohara style of arrangements. And now Rekha has more ideas, amalgamating dance, which is similar to Indian culture and Japanese culture. Thank you. I now request Ananda to introduce our guest of honor, former Ambassador Sri D.B. Venkatesh Varma garu.
Thank you, Nanda. Good evening. Namaskaram. I'm very honored to present to you a very brief profile of Sri D.B. Venkatesh Varma garu. Ambassador D.B. Venkatesh Varma was a member of the Indian Foreign Service from 1988 to 2021. During his diplomatic career, he has worked in the Ministry of External Affairs and the Office of External Affairs Minister and in the Prime Minister's Office. He served as the Indian Ambassador to Conference on Disarmament in Geneva, to the Kingdom of Spain, and to the Russian Federation until October 2021. Ambassador Varma has vast experience in India's security and defense policies, including its nuclear, missile, and space programs. Ambassador Varma is the first recipient of the S.K. Singh Award for Excellence in the Indian Foreign Service in 2011 for his contribution to the negotiations of the Civil Nuclear Initiative. Ambassador Varma has an MPhil in International Relations, Disarmament Studies from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. He has spoken at numerous think tanks in Geneva, Washington, New York, Monterey, Vienna, Brussels, London, Melbourne, The Hague, Seoul, Madrid, and Moscow. Ambassador Varma is married with one daughter and is based in Hyderabad, India. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Rekha ji, Honorable Consul General of Japan to Chennai, His Excellency Mr. Taga Masayuki, Deepika ji, Madam Grand Master who's sitting here, who gave us the great honor of presenting this wonderful book. And I want to first start by congratulating Rekha Reddy, Indumati Davlur, Padma Duburi, and Nirupama Reddy for this wonderful creation, which is a manifestation and the sign of the great Ikebana art, which is now flourishing in so many thousands of ways here in Hyderabad. I'd like to first congratulate the authors and the publishers of the book, but also congratulate all the ladies sitting here who have demonstrated these fantastic Ikebana exhibits, which bring together, as the conference exhibition title says, where Ikebana art of Japan meets the recipes of India. I think the word meet is a little weak. This is not just a meeting. I think it's Sangam. It is a fusion of coming together, where the coming together produces something that is much more than the originals. The dance form, we are all familiar, brings out the best when there's a fusion of dance forms from different parts of the world. I think this is not just a fusion of art, it's a fusion of minds and a fusion of hearts. The hearts of the people of India and the love and respect they have for the people and the art of Japan. It is as delicate as and as delicately poised as a dewdrop we see in the morning on a flower petal. And all these creations here are exquisite demonstration of not just the genius of all the ladies sitting here, and I'd like to congratulate them for their work, but also the dedication and the inventiveness that takes Ikebana art form into so many different varieties and shapes. We've heard the Honorable Ambassador of India send his message, but Excellency, you have so many ambassadors of India representing the strength of our relations with Japan. India and Japan have extraordinarily close relations, not just between governments, not just between our prime ministers and Prime Minister Modi. In particular, Japan has been a very special place. It occupies a very special place in his heart. But wherever we have traveled the world over, the strength of our relations is indeed noted. And not just from our independence, before our independence. Japan has provided every possible assistance to India, the largest aid donor to India. There's so many special projects in India that are inevitably tied with the support and friendship of Japan. But also the world over. I think we address similar problems, but we also have the same approaches in dealing with those problems. I was the beneficiary of the friendship of numerous Japanese ambassadors, including in Japan. My closest friend in Moscow was Ambassador Toyoshi Kozuki, and I will request you to convey our very warm regards to him on this occasion. So on this very beautiful evening, such a pleasure to walk into a room with such multiple colors of Indian saris here, and you see this as a small microcosm of what we have to present. But most importantly, please carry with you the very strong and very warm impressions of the ladies of Hyderabad, and see this is what we are capable of. And I hope this will be yet another pillar of our extraordinarily close relations between India and Japan. And I'd like to thank all the organizers for firstly inviting me and my wife Vidya, who's here in the audience, Rekha ji, who's taken very special care in organizing every detail of this, and I think it shows in, I must say, the way she approached this conference in inviting me and inviting our guests and going through every detail. It is with the same care, I think each one of you have assembled the Ikebana exhibit. So thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Varma garu, for all the appreciation. I now request Hira Rupani to introduce our guest of honor, His Excellency, Mr. Taga Masayuki, Consul General of Japan.
Mushi Mushi. It's a proud privilege to introduce Mr. Taga Masayuki, Consul General of Japan. He was born in Tokyo and graduated from Yokohama City University. In 1983, he joined the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. In 1984 to 1997, he served as embassies of Japan in India, Nepal, Ireland, and Southwest Asia Division in Tokyo. In the year 1997, he was the first secretary in the embassy of Japan in India. In the year 2000, he was the deputy director, head of Indian section, Southwest Asia Division, Asian and Oceanian Affairs Bureau. In the year 2004, he was the first secretary, Embassy of Japan in Pakistan. In the year 2007, he was counselor, Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka. In the year 2010, he was counselor, Embassy of Japan in Bangladesh. In the year 2014, he was senior regional coordinator, Southwest Asia Division. In October 2016, he was Consul General of Japan in Kolkata, India. And since March 2020, he's been Consul General of Japan in Chennai, India. Welcome, sir. And please, can I have a few words from you?
Thank you very much for the introduction. His Excellency Ambassador Venkatesh Varma, Miss Deepika Reddy-san, and all you Reddy Sensei, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it is my great pleasure and honor to attend this book launch of Mishrana, Ikebana of Japan Meets Recipes of India, edited by Reddy Sensei, Indramurti Devrod, Padma Dupuy-san, and Nirupama Reddy-san. So as you know that Reddy-san has been working as a Ikebana teacher and promoting Ikebana and friendship between Japan and India long years, and though her base is in Hyderabad, with friends and cooperation of many Ikebana teachers and friends, Ikebana lovers, in Japan as well as in various places of the world. She contributed a lot for the people of Hyderabad, India, Japan, and the world to understand better and deeper about Japanese culture through Ikebana. I'm very much obliged to Reka Sensei and very, very high for your efforts and works. Actually, 2 years ago, or last 2 years, I can say it's not easy time, difficult time because of COVID-19 pandemic. However, even during such difficult time that Reka Sensei and the friend of Ikebana did not stop work and rather utilizing a new method like online system, organized online Ikebana exhibition. So I remember vividly when I was invited online Ikebana exhibition titled Kamal and Kiku. The Kamal is a lotus. The flower symbolizes India and very much favorite flower for Japanese also. And Kiku is the chrysanthemum and very symbolic flower of Japan and also liked by people of India. It was, I think, February last year, 2021, and showing this Kiku and Kamal, that chrysanthemum and lotus, that it was presented very nicely, the harmony of goodwill and friendship between Japan and India. So I really appreciate those activities. And when I first met Reka Sensei, she gave me very beautiful coffee table book, as she said. And today also I got one extra copy, Blooms and Looms, Weave of Ikebana and Sari, published in 2018. I think she thought or intended to show the essence of Japanese culture and Indian culture by depicting or analogizing Ikebana and Sari's comparatively in one book. I believe that her intention was found great success. And today, the Reka Sensei and the editors presented as a coffee table book, Mishrana, Ikebana of Japan meets recipes of India, which show us comparative beauty of Ikebana and Indian cuisine and its material. I'm sure this book, of course, by collaboration of Ikebana and Indian cuisine, the people of India and Japan would understand better and deeper about their culture and its beauty. So I really thankful to the editors and also all the contributors. I understand this year marks 75 years of independence of India. So 75 contributors made Ikebana for this book, and 75 Ikebana were in the book, I understand. So thank you very, very much for your contribution. And since this year also commemorate 70th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between Japan and India, it is very much suitable, or now situation of COVID-19 is quite under control, and I hope this year we can do a lot of cultural activities or cultural exchange program. So today, the launch of this coffee table book, Mishrana, is really, really timely and important to start with this cultural event for the I'd like to do the whole year to organize various cultural events. So thank you again to everyone who contributed for this coffee table book, Mishrana. And I'd like to extend my hearty congratulations of this publication of Mishrana. So to all the editors and the contributors, and I'd like to also express my highest regards to the long years contribution of Reika Sensei and all those who did a lot for the Ikebana performance and promotion of Ikebana. So thank you very much. And I'm sure, as Ambassador Varma said, that you are the cultural ambassador of Japan, and you are the cultural ambassadors of Japan. So please continue your Ikebana practice and teaching and learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. India and Japan have a long history of friendship, and this year we're celebrating 70 years of that friendship. I now request our guests of honor, Mr. Taga Masayuki, Consul General of Japan, and Sri D.B. Venkatesh Varma garu, to please present the book Mishrana to our participants. I request all the participants of Mishrana to please come to the dais, some to the left and some to the right, to take their copy of the book. Pooja, Divya, Padma and Nirupa to please help with the books. Thank you.
Padma, wait, Indu, Padma, come. Indu and Padma, come. We want a press picture. One.
Just a second. One more. Sharad? Sharad here. Yes, sir? Thank you. Thank you very much. Here, sir. Please, madam. Thank you. Sir, here, madam. Here, madam. Sorry, sir. Just a second, ma'am. Sir, one more, sir, please, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Madam? Just a sec. Thank you. Sir, here, sir. Rameshwar, madam. Thank you. Sir, please, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Madam, just a second. Thank you. Madam here. Madam here, please. Someone. Just a second. Thank you. Ma'am here, please. Thank you. Ma'am here, please. Thank you. Madam here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Here, please. Sir, please, sir. Thank you. Here, sir. Madam, here, madam. Sir. Thank you. Sir. Sir, here, sir. Thank you. Sir, here, sir, please. Madam, madam. Thank you. Madam, here, madam, please. Thank you. Thank you. Lata, ma'am. Madam. Sorry, sir. Madam here. Madam here. Thank you, sir. Madam here, please. Sir, here, sir, please, sir. Madam here. Madam. Sir, just a second. Madam, could you please? Sir, thank you. Here, madam. Madam, here, please, sir. Here, madam. Here, madam, please. Hello. Archive one picture. Just a second, please, sir, sir, please, please, please. With your permission. Arvind change वाले ना? तो photographer. Here, madam. Sir, sir, please, join, sir. Please join. Madam. Madam. Here, sir, madam. Here, sir. Madam here, madam, please, 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 everyone here.
Ladies, will you please settle down?
Sir, please, sir. Sir, please.
Ladies, may I have your attention,
Attention.
please? Please sit down. We are not
Please
done
be
yet.
seated. We have a vote of thanks and then we will be on our way. Kindly be seated.
I now request Nirupa Reddy, our co-editor and financial genius and fourth master of the O'Hara School of Ikebana, to propose the vote of thanks.
Namaste. I consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks for this evening's program. We are grateful to our guests of honor for honoring us with their presence. Mr. Taga Masayuki, Consul General of Japan in Chennai, thank you for coming to Hyderabad to launch Mishrana. On behalf of all the participants, we thank you for sharing your views. Our gratitude to former Ambassador Sri D.B. Venkatesh Varma Garu for accepting our invitation and gracing the occasion. Sir, thank you for taking your time out to help us in launching Mishrana. Thank you to the renowned Kuchipudi dancer and artist Deepika Reddy for her gracious presence and her thoughtful words. I would like to thank Arvind Chenji for the wonderful photographs for all the patients he had during the shoots. Chef Partha Chakrabarti for his food shoot coordination, and Chef Suman who helped in food styling. Thank you for your time and presentation. A big thank you to our designers, RBC Worldwide, for the innovative and creative designing of Mishrana. A special thank you to Priya, Subramaniam, and Venkat for your wonderful suggestions and extreme patience. Mishrana is looking lovely, pretty by Kalajyoti Printing Press, who took special interest to print them. Thank you for bringing Mishrana out. The recipes wouldn't have tasted so good if not for Dr. Geeta Reddy and Deepti Yagnik, who helped us in testing the recipes. Nanda Rao and Anita Lakshman, thank you for the methodical compiling the participants' profiles. Our advisor on finances, Anurag Tarmila, thank you for your valuable suggestions and inputs. A warm thank you to the Hotel Marigold, Srimati Parvati Reddy, GM Mr. Rajesh, and the banquet staff for the lovely venue. I especially thank all who have been supportive of the event, the volunteers for making this flow smooth, and to dear family and friends who encouraged us in this production. Thank you, Lakshmi, for the beautiful backdrop. Thank you to the media and the press for covering the event, Pranay for his help in live streaming, and Ajay for his photography of this event. A special thank you to the Grandmaster Shamla Ganesh, Maithili Ramaswamy, Suma, and Shubham, who traveled to Hyderabad for the event. The audience for celebrating this book launch with us. Last but not the least, but the most important, a huge thank you to each and every one of the 75 participants of the book for being with us patiently all through the years it took to make the book. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you for being with us tonight. Could you please join us for the refreshments which are served outside? Thank you.
both of us will come this time.
Let some bring that Miyoshi people here.
Yes.
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 Yeah, so
Yeah. ఇది ఆయనది మన అక్కడికి come on.
Hello, so nice to see you.
Deepika, you want to? Your book? Where's your book? Oh, yeah, no, thank you. We have it. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. And his books are also there. So nice. Thank you. Thank you. I think they're there, Nana.
ते इक्वल लड्डू दो इक्वल लड्डू సార్ సార్ లైవ్
అన్నా నమస్తే ఇట్లా ఎట్లన్నా అన్నేడి నన్ను కాల్ చేసి దండం చేస్తుంటాడు ఆవు హమారా ఈవెంట్
దాదా
ఎవరైనా
ఎవరినా